town hall meeting in Thorncliff. I have annual town halls in each of the 4 neighborhoods. So Thorncliff, Flemington Park, Woodford Heights, and Leaside. So the whole purpose is really just to update you on what's going on in the city, update you on what's going on in the community, and also to give you an opportunity to ask any questions or voice your concerns. Hello. I am actually recording this, so I hope people don't have a problem with that. The whole idea is that we can post it online. So it's a cold night, a lot of people can't come, and so it'll just be an opportunity for people to see what's going on. So we have a few people here tonight that will be speaking. They will be limited to 5 minutes, and I'm pretty good about maintaining that rule. And then that'll give everyone about an hour to ask questions. Where's Pat Moore?
She was here.
Pat, where are you, Pat? Well, anyway, Pat Moore works tirelessly in the community, and she actually hand-delivered a lot of our flyers, and it's a lot of work in some of these buildings, so I just wanted to thank Pat publicly. So, my little update is mostly about Costco, because that's it's top of mind in the community. They were supposed to open for November of this year. And they did promise to have a job fair in the community to give the community sort of first shot at a lot of the job opportunities. Unfortunately, they've had some issues with the building itself. The Coke office was deemed heritage, and which, yes, that's a little bit of a joke in my mind too. And I never tire of letting the community know that that designation cost the community about $2 million in Section 37 money. Right, so when that happened before me, when I was elected, they said to me, the cost for us to actually maintain that building would be about $2 to $2.5 million. We're happy to give that to the community if you could reverse the heritage designation, which I could not do. So, in any event, the extra is going to take them about a year more, they're thinking right now. So now we're looking at an opening date of 2018. Okay, that's the big thing. So we'll see what happens with that. Also, what's happening at City Hall is we will be looking deeper at licensing of landlords. That's a top of mind issue as well. I've recently switched committees. Every councillor is on a committee, and I asked to go on the Municipal Licensing and Standards Committee, which deals with tenants issues. So I just started on that, and that will give me a little more knowledge of what's going on in the tenant world. Also, I'll be able to advocate a little bit better on your behalf. So tonight we have a whole bunch of guests. I'm going to actually read everyone off. First speaking will be Susan Wright. She actually is working on the market garden concept in Thorncliff. So I thought it would be good if she could come and speak to you about what she's doing. And Costanza, let me see what your actual... Costanza, I first met Costanza, and the reason I'm having a problem with what she does is she was the one that actually got us ice time in Flemington Park so we could have a free hockey league with the police. So she was really so important. We had this idea of creating a hockey league with the fine officers of actually 54 division, but we couldn't get enough ice time, and it was actually Costanza that got it done. So I love Costanza. But she switched over to she's now manager of community recreation. No, that's Michael. You should always bring your glasses to these things. Director of Community Resources. Yeah. And Thorncliff and Flemington Park are both what we call neighborhood improvement areas. A lot of people question what that means. Costanza's going to tell us. Michael Ellison. Now, he's the Parks and Forestry guy. Well, he'll tell you what he's up to and what we're up to, and in terms of facilities and whatnot. Gabor, he's Municipal Licensing and Standards. He's not going to be presenting, but he will field all your questions and complaints. Matt Moyer, Staff Sergeant 53 Division. I love Matt. He works tirelessly, and all the good work that the officers do in Thorncliff, and the really positive relationship that the police have with the community. I'm a big believer that it starts at the top. It really, you know, a lot of the problems and positive direction of whatever relationship we have going, it really comes from management. And Matt's a big part of that. He's in charge of the community office. He's got a few health issues, so he's going to be gone for a couple months, and that's going to be a real blow, but he will be coming back. But Matt will be speaking for a few minutes, but I'm very sincere when I say I'm very proud of the relationship that the police have in Thorncliff with the community. And that's a testimonial to the community, but also to Matt Moyer and his officers who are here. And Ahmed Hussein, who's the director of TNO, also works tirelessly, and thank you for having us here tonight. And TNO is working with the city. We're working on a community hub. I think Costanza will probably talk a little bit about that. So I've gone over my 5 minutes, so here's Susan Wright.
Thank you. Hi. I'm, as John said, I'm Susan Wright. This is my son, Owen. He sometimes attends these meetings with me, and it's always nice to have an icebreaker. Nice smiley face. So I worked last summer in partnership with Ahmed and the TNO team, who are amazing, to deliver the summer lunch program. We provided about 10,000 lunches to his summer camp kids, and in the process of doing that, we got kids out into gardens, realized that they like being in the dirt, and growing plants and harvesting themselves, and so I applied for some funding to grow food for the summer lunch program and to grow it in the community, and I was granted a bit of money, and so I'm here tonight to talk a little bit about that. So some of you may have the paper that was provided that gives a bit of background on it. So there are programs around the globe and already around the city, and I'm sure Michael probably knows about many of them, where instead of planting beautiful flowers, we plant edible food. And then that food is provided into the community to kids. You build connections with schools, with campers, so that you can grow that stuff and teach kids all about it. And there are so many ripple-down benefits of having food grown in a community and having kids and community members a part of the process. So I'm here just to say a few words about it. There's some diagrams here where you can see what it could potentially look like. Ideally, I'd like to be speaking with some of the building owners and the development companies that own many of the buildings in this space, about using some of that unused land that is currently kind of grass to be used for gardens. And I think what we'd like to do is put food in there, put beautiful spaces for people to convene and come together, places for kids to play, and we're looking forward to trying to develop some lovely spaces around the community that provide both food and fun. So on this page, if you take a look at it, you can see some before and afters of what we're dreaming this could look like. And then on this following page, there's a nice article about EMS workers in Hamilton using some of their property to grow food that they provided into the community as well. So hopefully Matt and his team might be interested in growing on the police grounds, but we'll talk about that later. What I'm here for mostly tonight is to see if there's anybody in the audience, or if anybody knows anybody who would like to help us with. We're going to have some sessions with the community where we talk about what the designs look like, what kind of food we would want to grow. I need folks to try to spread the word. I would love to connect with people around knowing if you know anybody who would offer up space. If there are commercial businesses who might have a small space, 10 by 10 feet, it could be anything, where we could just start growing food. And then finally, if anybody knows of people that I should be talking to in the community who could help us move this forward, I'd love to hear from you. So I have a sheet. I'm going to pass it around, and if anybody wants to put their name and contact information on there, I think Ahmed might be able to grab it for me at the end, because I can't stay the whole time, unfortunately. But I would love to be able to connect with people around designing this space, collecting people together who care about it, getting great ideas about what we can grow and what these spaces look like, and then finding where we can put these gardens in. So that's all I have to say. I'm happy to take questions if anybody has any. my name is Susan Wright again, and my contact information is at the bottom of this sheet, if anybody wants to reach out to me directly as well. Any questions? Yes?
Is there any chance that the food that's grown could be organic?
My dream is that it will be organic. I'm hoping to not use any sort of chemicals at all. Yeah, absolutely. And if anybody knows anybody who knows about growing food, I'd also like to talk with them. So I'm good at delivering lunches, but usually food that's already been grown. So happy to meet with people who know about urban gardening. Maybe you're one of those people. Yes?
Who's in charge of the garden that's down near the play area and the tennis courts? What is that?
In RV
Fence around it.
is that the one in RV Burgess?
Pardon me?
The one in RV Burgess?
No, Lisa Park, right over here, yeah. That's the city.
Oh yeah, that's,
There, the tennis court.
and I think that's
I don't know
the
who's
Thorncliff
running it,
neighborhood
it's
office.
community
Yes.
garden. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Ahmed's space.
It is actually, yeah, it is it's actually a communal garden. It's done by a group of women, about 20 women. So they actually do collectively the work, and they share the produce, and we help them getting the seeds and whatever they need. But basically, they are actually running it, and it has been successful last year. They really, and there was a community person who's an agronomist who lived in Thorncliff, who helped them to in terms of the how to do the certain produce, and been very helpful to them, and it was very successful last year. And they will continue to do that next year as well. They're actually applying to expand, to get another portion of that land at the back, so they can increase the produce they're putting there in next summer.
There was an awful lot of soil there. It didn't look like some of the gardens were being used.
Some of the area has not been used at the back because it was not authorized to be used. We were expecting we will get 2 plots, but we did not get it. So that soil was intended for the new area. We expected to get that.
Okay, so how do you get involved in that if you want to?
I will give you my card. You will give me a call. I will connect to you people who are doing, the community members who are doing. They actually need people to help them. Thank you.
Oh,
Not a very good question. I think that area should be used for the children to enjoy gardening, right, you know?
Absolutely.
And right now it's in self-centered where people go to plant their produce, they're very, very conservative of what they grow and what they plant. And that image of gardening agriculture is not shared among the children, you know, neighborhood.
well, that's,
What can we do to better that?
well, so I would just add
Better
that,
that environment.
that last summer,
To share that environment with the children in the neighborhood.
yeah, that's exactly our objective.
I have a garden area, and I plant plants, and I invite all the children to come and see what I plant and how it grows.
Great, well, we want to work
Yeah,
with you. for sure.
absolutely.
I
Yeah.
don't look for the personal benefits of the produce. It's a neighborhood thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Could that garden area be a reflection of our neighborhood?
Absolutely, that's our
Because
objective.
right now, the way it is everybody is.
So last summer, I worked in partnership with Ahmed and his team, and our kids from the camp, or his kids from the camp, went to that garden. And they had a number of visits through the summer, and that was what spurred me to think, we need to have more gardens in this community. And so we would love to have you on the team.
Children are the fabric of our society.
Absolutely.
We want to teach them agriculture.
Absolutely.
Food is expensive.
Okay,
Yeah, it is. It is.
all right. So I'm going to pass the paper around. I hope to see several of your names on the list. Oh, sorry, do you have a question, sir?
Excuse me,
Yes.
there was no plotting in this Thorncliff area for gardening. And 2-3 years ago, there was a lady named Amy. Now-
Okay, sorry, I'm gonna stop you there. If it's a direct question for Susan,
Yes.
great. If it's about gardens and community and everything else, we're gonna hold those to the end, because I wanna get them on the microphone. And what I want everyone to do is present and then questions. The only reason I allow questions with Susan is because she has to leave.
I mean about gardening.
Yes.
I am the horticulturist and I love rose plants.
Okay.
I company with the Amy and we started over there. The corner at the plot it was there and John Parker provided watering line over there. Since there were a lot of ladies and I was the only man over there, so I left them. And sometimes children come and I guided them how to make the soil fertile and how you can grow this. And actually, I am very.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to cut you off. We can revisit that at the end. This is not about Susan. So Michael might be able to talk to some of that. And we'll have questions at the end. I just wanna get through the presentations.
Okay.
So does anyone have questions of Susan? Okay,
Please sign up.
okay.